Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of our Exim Stories. We have renamed ourselves the Exim Stories. Previously, we were the Import Export Advisory Series. Since we come up with a lot of stories along with a lot of information on the import export advisory, we have chosen to call ourselves the Exim Stories. Now, today we come up with a new topic that's on the pricing strategies for exports. Now, as usual, we have our expert Meenal Butch, CA Meenal Butch, who is the lead brain on BizBrains. Now, she's going to, kind of peel the onion for us on what kind of pricing works for us and what kind of pricing needs to be taken care of when you are a part of the import and export industry. Nina, welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
So let me come to the point straight. Now, pricing is a very big topic. A lot of people do not understand pricing or the offer. Now, given this situation, what would be the export pricing strategies that you would you would recommend that people should know when they are in the import export business?
Yes, I will surely. So before moving on to that, I'll start with one quote, mainly related to our today's topic. So costing is a fact, but pricing is a strategy, right? So when you are working on a pricing, normally it is misunderstood that okay, when I've worked around my costing, but pricing itself is a very in-depth thing which is needed to be understood, and it has to be used in a strategic way. And again, when we are about achieving $2 trillion of India by 2030, I think it is very important for our exporters to understand this topic in depth and apply it in their business scenarios. So, coming back to your question, you had asked that what are the kind of strategies available, for the export pricing. So, there are multiple strategies, but commonly used strategies I would like to highlight today. So, market holding strategy. So, the market determines the price of the product depending on the demand, supply, and various other factors in the international market. The second is the penetration strategy, wherein like you keep the price to the minimal in the beginning just to penetrate into then you grow and expand, then gradually you increase your pricing. And the third is the skimming pricing strategy, which is like there is an established product and therefore you can charge a good amount in the beginning and then gradually to retain or to expand the share in the market, you would reduce or optimize on the pricing part. So different pricing strategies which are available depending on what is your products you are into. So if it is a commodity product, normally market driven, like the rice, the wheat, like various commodities which are exported from India. Even what products are commodities which are normally it is driven by the market pricing, etc. So depending on what is your product, the strategies you can look into. But however, in the international market, mostly I have seen market pricing is a prevalent model, followed by penetration or a skimming, depending on what is your product positioning. Like you are into the developed markets, you are targeting developed market, you are into luxury product, then into the penetration price. If you are into an industrial product, engineering related product, you would want to go into the skimming or combined, because then your product pricing also is which you are consuming. So it could be as well. But it's very important to understand the various strategies available and how we can implement this.
Sure. Now, strategies on one side. So, what could be the types of export pricing methods? So, what would be the method by which you would arrive at a price?
Very interesting and very dear to me because this is the real how to derive the what methods you use, because again in this also there are various, this what you may find it a little theoretical, but to understand when we jump onto the practical aspect side. So one is a very prevalent model, method, cost plus method. So whatever is the product price, the final product price which has the product cost, then if there is any processing done, the value add, the product, the fixed cost, the running maintenance which you may be doing in your own factory. So that cost up till your factory gate, which is incurred in your own factory. So that is one part. Then starts, if your logistics is included. So logistic cost, transportation cost, clearance cost, warehousing cost, in forwarding again. There are different costs again. What terms you have adopted, like IF or FOB or DDP, duty also also part of the cost if you are into delivery duty paid. So depending on again what Incoterms you have adopted, as a negotiation tactic, the cost plus method will be is one option. The second is the with variable. So it is a little advanced version of the cost plus method, detailing of the variable costing part. The third is a competitive pricing. So what is the this, I'll link it to the previous answer which I gave. So competitive price to your market, which we discussed in the first question. All this is connected. Strategy with your method as the right price point for your product. And the last is the market pricing. So again, both of them are a little different. Competitive means in an international market you may be facing competition. So what prices have been kept by your competitor countries, or even Indian market who are selling abroad. So that is also so. Overall, there are 3 to 4 methods again, which can help you derive the right costing of right pricing for your product. So no, this is a little theoretical, but I thought this will give us a base to understand what best can be adopted in our business
Okay.
scenario.
So, as a business strategist, I kind of work on three parameters of pricing. One is the cost plus. Fundamentally, these are pricing strategies that
Hmm.
the amateurs use. Fundamentally, they calculate all the costs, they put a certain margin, and then go into the market. The second one is a competitive pricing. Fundamentally, competitive pricing is a joint call to make a commit a joint
Correct.
suicide because it never works. So everybody, both of you are going down. The third one is value-based pricing. So that's where you build the value of why you price at what you price, and then if people are very clear with why they price the way they price, I mean you can still survive the market. Great, thank you.
True.
Now
True.
when you do this right.
And again, more angle to this, if you are a merchant, so if you are a merchant exporter or a manufacturer exporter, if you are a merchant exporter, then there is an X price which then you will add up your margin to the product. So again, what positioning you are into as an, what level of supply chain you are into, that also is an important factor to be considered.
Nice, right, right. Now, given these factors, pricing becomes a weapon, right? So it becomes a completely new
Correct.
way of looking at market. Now, with pricing as one of your weapons or one of your, one of your, yeah, I would like to call it a weapon. Can you tell me of a case study where pricing really
Hmm.
mattered?
Awesome question. So this, I would put it like this. So whatever strategies and methods here in this, if you see, I think 90% discussed are which are not within our control. A simple example that if I'm going to buy a laptop, the on my vendor, okay,
Hmm.
my vendor has given me an X price. I'll just have to add up margin to it and then I can sell it further. A very simple, basic example. So we talk about a cost plus method for any manufacturer exporter. Stand of capital goods, raw material, inputs, semi-finished goods, whatever he may be using, he or she may be using for manufacturing purpose. Then the processing part, the technology involved in the manufacturing process. Then after the production is done, then further supply of the same in the international market, the logistics part, the freight forwarding, the insurance, then no, all those elements if you put together, more or less these are the factors which are not, okay, which are uh, per se. Like you can just go for a minimal negotiation with your vendor, possible best, because you will also not want to the quality of the product. Maintaining the topmost quality of the critical in the international market. So amongst all this, what is that you can would like to highlight that point? That is something which is within your control, which
Correct.
if you apply in the right fashion, I think that will be a real game changer. And now I come to success story of many of our clients, but so this client basically knew completely for their exports and also domestic. So they were skeptical or not, and that is a normal feeling for any startup, not a startup, but an established manufacturer exporter, that okay, I am projecting a certain amount of export. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to achieve those targets or not. But somehow, because they would also have done the market feasibility study, the product feasibility study before getting into that, okay, at least this product could be sold in a domestic market. So this client, they are into manufacturing of laminate papers, various types of papers used for the manufacturing purposes, for the paper industry, the laminate industry and all. So they imported, a lot of machineries, importing papers and all. The entire manufacturing unit. So earlier at the time of setting up, they had envisaged that on their imports, they'll be paying entire duties, right? But then the things turn around. Uh, we with some tricks of policies, we help them save a lot on the procurement side in terms of the costing. This for them, which they had not envisaged. And then what came in was the final product. The final product became so competitive, they were able to beat the international players just playing around with the right policies in the right way. In the two factors when we talk about the export pricing, one is something which is fixed. No, if you have decided a particular product technology, it is inevitable they'll have you in that you'll have to incur certain cost to it. However, with lot of government support and lot of policies around, if you make the right decisions to implement the right things at the right time, I think you will be able to save a lot. And this exactly happened in this client's case. And they kept on increasing the production capacity. This was one major advantage. Secondly, they were able to bag lot of orders because of getting into the right frame of the policies along with their technological upgradation also. So parallelly, after 2 3 years, they also upgraded the technology and they made their product even better with the better pricing as well. So I'm saying that if you are getting into an international market, quality is the most important aspect because that is what is looked up to. And now India is also portraying that okay, we are also able to manufacture high quality products for the entire world, like make in India, make for the world. So keeping this into focus, you will never want to compromise on the quality. However, you will also want to be better competitive in terms of pricing. So this was one of the big success stories for this manufacturer, that without compromising on the quality of the product, without compromising on the processes, the technology, they actually made their prices very competitive, that they kept on growing their businesses, expanding and also bagging new export orders. No, overall their businesses, their top line improved drastically. So this is one, like if time permits, I can share the second as well.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So again, the second such success story, this was about a food processing company. They no, they never had a plan to get into the exports. They only wanted to remain into the domestic market. But because of lot of savings on the procurement side, I would say, they import the domestic. No, there were various policies which we tweaked and implemented in their systems. The product pricing became so competitive that they were never wanting to get into an international market because they thought that India, the domestic market itself is so big that even if we cater to just this domestic market, we will be done with. Because their end customers were very, very big, food processing companies who were wanting to use their final product as their raw material. Those big MNCs, PNG, and all those big companies were their clients. So they were never worried about, but they are also, inside there is always there that, okay, if I get a export order, it's always good. So because their other division was already into exports. So what happened as a byproduct after implementing the tax cost, reduction part, not, I would say, not reduction but the optimizing part, they bagged again a very very big export order, then that actually opened up a separate um, vertical for their business which they had never envisaged. So these are the two big success stories. I have many to share, but if you work around the costing of the product, product sorry, export pricing of the product, using the right method, not looking at just singularly from a product perspective, but also from an overall business perspective, that will really bring in the value. Because right now, in general, what we tend to do is we just understand that, okay, this is my product, and we singularly look at the pricing of the product. But no, that it doesn't work like that. You have to look at holistic perspective of your business, where you want to head towards, and take decisions accordingly, and this will surely help grow your businesses in a very very big way. And this has happened for many of such big manufacturing giants.
Awesome. Super. I think that's all the questions I have. So, audience, please understand, pricing is a competitive tool. It's a very, very strategic tool that you can use, and the levers of your pricing can make or break your business. And with even more parameters of the export and import compliance that come in, this becomes extremely important. If you think that you have a safe margin, please remember it can disappear in no time. All right.
Yeah.
So you need to have an expert who will you will validate the pricing that you have. Competitive pricing that you have in India will not work. The cost plus the cost plus pricing, you would have started off with a loss actually if you look at it in the import. about
Mhm.
market. So
True.
don't make those assumptions. Assumptions are your death sentences in business. So no assumptions. Please work with the experts. And Meenal here has been working on these pricing models and pricing strategies for quite some time. So you know whom to reach out to if you have questions. So Meenal, before we close, any final comments?
So I keep repeating this, but I really want every exporter to understand this statement. Your goods should be exported and not the taxes.
Yeah,
I would end with this.
yeah. I hope people really understand the depth of this sentence. Probably you should do one session on that particular sentence sometime. Awesome.
True.
So, audience, we'll come back to you next Tuesday again at 5 p.m. Until then, stay safe. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can reach out to either one of us on LinkedIn and we'll be more than happy to answer your queries. Thank you so much. And Meenal, you
True.
have a lovely week ahead.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wishing you the same.
Yes. Bye.